Let's see here. Let me make sure that we're, we're live. Dude, I got to log in on my phone. Let's see here. Cool, man. We're actually live. Hey, so Silas, how do tell us a little bit about yourself and the market that you're in?
Um, I'm been in the market or real estate for 3 years now. I'm out of El Paso, Texas. It's pretty much a buyer's market. Some parts of it is a seller's market. Lots of inventory.
What's the average time on market for a house right now?
You're looking anywhere between, well, depending on the price point. I mean, one between 100 and 150. You're looking. Turn around about a week. Anything over that, about maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
Cool. What's your average price point?
My average price point right now is about 160.
160?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So your third year in the business, average price point's about 160.
Mm-hmm.
How many transactions did you close last year?
Last year we closed 36 transactions.
36.
Yes.
Man, that's a great second year.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
What was the total volume?
We were right around 3.5.
Cool, man. So where are you at so far this year?
This year we are about a little over a million. We do have, the pipeline's getting full now, so we're looking to break that 3.5 before the end of the year.
Cool, man. Right now you guys are not quite you're not quite halfway to 3.5. What's going on?
I think, part of it is I switched over from working with a team that I had like two buyer's agents to kind of regrouping. I kind of concentrated more on the listing side, which I kind of neglected a little bit of the buyer side, but now we're kind of rebuilding. So hopefully we'll get back to that point for the end of the year.
What's when you say neglected, what happened? You just were not doing it?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. We just we just stopped working.
Yep. So what happened? You just quit calling the buyers, you quit following up with them, quit going into your CRM and stuff like that?
No, we just didn't put that much effort as we did before. We still followed up with the buyers we were working with, but we would get leads and it kind of put them to the side a little bit.
So what you've tried to do was you tried to switch your business from a buyer-based business to a seller-based business.
Yeah, literally.
So what problems did you have, or what problems are you having?
Right now it was just regrouping. We kind of went from, a small brokerage into the new brokerage. And with that transition alone, and then plus trying to switch from buyers to sellers, I think we kind of lost the direction and the momentum, really, is what happened.
Yeah. I saw before we chatted, you're talking about one of your problems was going to a listing appointment and getting there and not having a plan for when you get there.
Right.
So what were you typically doing at a listing appointment, or what typically happens at one?
So listing appointments, we pretty much go through a presentation as far as like for sale by owners. We get the appointment, we get there, and then it's kind of like, okay, now what? So we're like, we don't want to sell it too hard on them, and then we don't want to, be too laid back on it. So we're kind of in that middle point trying to figure out the direction.
So I think I've had this same problem you have. And let me kind of sum it up and tell you what problem I had, and then you can tell me if this is kind of what you're going through.
Okay.
So I would set an appointment with them. And at the time I was really good at setting appointments, but sometimes I didn't really have a system. So sometimes what I was doing was I was really good at telling them what they wanted to hear, so they would let me in the door. Whether it was, hey, let me come look at your house. Let me look at it for a buyer. Oh, we got buyers. I'm previewing it for them. Whatever they wanted to hear. So everybody would be happy and let me get my foot in the door. Then what would end up happening was once I got my foot in the door, I was basically just showing up and hanging out.
Right.
And I'd sit on the couch and we'd drink sweet tea and we'd talk about, the South Carolina Gamecocks and how their grandkids talking about going to, whatever college. And, it quickly turned from like business to a social visit when I got there. And I would say sometimes I would stay an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I'd go, oh man, these people love me. They're inviting me to come back for dinner. He's asked me
Right.
if I want to go fishing with him. Things like that. And then what would happen was they would end up listing the property with somebody else.
Right.
And and then me on my end, I'd be like, shit, I just knew I was going to get that listing. Those people liked me. Well, what ended up happening was, I mean, my closing ratios back then were literally, they were embarrassing, because sometimes, I mean, I would be a man, I would get 2 out of 10.
Right.
If I was lucky, you know what I mean?
Right.
So what I started doing, the change for me came when I hired a new coach, and he taught me that I did not have a system whatsoever. I was just like flying by the seat of my pants. So what we started doing was working on that system, and what basically that system is the same one I go through my book and How to Be a FSBO Master. In which, man, if you send me a message, dude, if you don't have it, I'll send you a copy of it. And but I sent out my pre-listing package. What I had to learn was like going to the doctor. You might know the doctor, you guys might have like family in common and friends in common, but really the only reason you're there is because you got a sore throat, and the only reason he's really there is because it's his job. In real estate, it's kind of the same way. The only reason why we're going to the only reason people are letting us in their house is because they think we can sell it for them. And the only reason we're actually showing up to their house is because it's our job.
Right.
So I had to switch this mindset that it was okay for me to like be nice to people, but I couldn't go and like spend the afternoon with them,
Right.
And so what I started doing, man, was I actually made some bullet points for myself. And I'd actually carry around the little I don't know, I can't think of what you call it now. It's the thing your gym teacher used to have, the clipboard.
Oh yeah.
So I'd carry a clipboard into the appointment with me, because when people see you with a clipboard, they know that you mean business. And so I'd have my little checklist on there in my sheet. And what I would do is go through the house. I'd try to spend 5-10 minutes pointing out things, if I could point out anything I thought would be a problem.
Right.
And I constantly talked about, when we bring buyers to your house, when we put your house on the market, everything was we, as if I was already doing it together with them.
Right.
Then as soon as I got finished with that, I'd go to their table. I would say, hey guys, I do a lot of work before I show up at an appointment. Can we sit at your kitchen table and I'll show you what I found? And that gives you that little segue to go from looking at the house to sitting in front of them with paperwork.
Right.
Then you pull out your comparables, and you gotta make it a smooth transition. I pull out my comparables, and I use an active pricing strategy, and I explain it to people real quick. And an active pricing strategy is basically, I'm pricing based on active competition rather than solds. So I go down through that with them, and that pricing strategy makes a lot more sense to people than, hey, we're going to pull a lot of random stuff and then hope we can justify the price that you're getting.
Right.
So I would go through that. Then I would immediately go into a net sheet. I'd pull out my net sheet and go, hey guys, so this is what it is. If we put your home on the market for 165, then after real estate commissions, attorney fees, and I just go down through the list of their costs, you're gonna net roughly whatever that price is once you get all your commissions out. And then that price at the end, I would circle it and say, is that okay with you guys? Would you guys be happy walking away with that? And hopefully if you asked a lot of questions on your initial call about what they wanted for it, what they wanted to walk away with, hopefully that price is at least close to what they wanted to walk away with. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So you have to put them in a position where they have to say yes to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Are you going to be okay with this price? Would you guys be happy walking away with this price? Then you wait for a yes. As soon as they say yes, you look at them and say, well, guys, I brought all the paperwork with me. I got it filled out. Would you like to, let's go down through it real quick. and then you immediately transition to paperwork, have it all filled out, all highlighted. You got to show up like prepared to do business. You know what I mean? And
Right.
use that same system, whatever system you're using, use the same one over and over again. And I got almost obsessed with timing my listing appointments. Um, because what I felt like, I kind of developed the mindset that 30 minutes was long enough. Anything more than 30, 45 minutes, I thought about myself like, 30, 45 minutes, I'm kind of losing interest. You know what I mean? But rather than going in there and doing it, and is that kind of what's happening to you as you're showing up? People really like you, and then they list with somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now, well, for the for sale by owners, we kind of show up, we have the conversation, like you said. One of the conversations turned completely sideways, and instead of real estate, it was more into personal conversation, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, we've had situations where we got we make the calls to get through the door, and I don't know, one, we just scheduled it too far in advance, and somebody came in between that 2 or 3 days and took it. That was one, and then the other one, like I said, yeah, I mean. It just came down to not getting in there and showing them the details. It's more kind of just.
I'll tell you this too, man. When you get somebody on the phone and they're hot on selling, right?
Right.
They're hot on selling. They tell you how much they want for their house. They give you a time frame and stuff. I try to get in there. I try to get in the house as soon as possible.
Okay.
Because we've started that conversation with them, right? And they know they're meeting a realtor. And for some reason, people think, oh, I'm meeting one realtor. They've been anti-realtor since they put their ad on Craigslist, right? Oh, man, we're not working with realtors. We're going to sell it ourselves. We don't want an agent. We're not going to pay 6%. They go down through the whole list of objections with it.
Right.
And then, so they've been anti-realtor the whole time. Then all of a sudden you set an appointment with them. And then the next 10 agents that set appointment, call them, they set appointments with them too, because, hey, we're already meeting a realtor. We're already meeting Silas.
Right.
What's another one going to hurt to hear their opinion,
Yeah.
People will meet multiple realtors to get multiple opinions because they think we're going to tell them something different.
Right.
But they could have a heart problem and they only meet with one doctor. It's the wildest thing. But yeah, man, I try to get in the door as quick as possible. I don't like setting appointments more than like a couple of days out.
Okay.
But I try to get in the door tomorrow, right? Just because I don't want somebody else to enter that conversation I'm already having with them,
Right.
And I'll tell you, so how many appointments have you went on lately? Like say in the last like 2 weeks?
So the last 2 weeks, we barely started calling for sale by owners. Kind of added that into our business. On Monday alone, we had 5 appointments for sale by owners.
Oh, wow. You guys are setting 5 appointments like on Monday?
Yeah.
You say is that just you or is that you and a team?
Well, we had a couple people calling, so that's why I say we. It's just between a group of us that are calling, that database.
Oh, yeah. So what happened? What happened with those 5?
Right. So we set 3 set up on Friday for Monday, which was this Monday. Then on Monday morning we made a call. We set up 2 more. One of them over the weekend is when they got picked up by somebody else. We ended up going to the other ones. I'm trying to think back. Oh, so one of them, like I said, we got in the door, potential cash buyers, stuff like that. So we got to talking now. We got to be able to sit down and give them the nets. But they were still, like you said, I mean, they were interested in interviewing 2 other agents at the time as well. Yeah. And so right now it's just on the follow-up part of it.
Are you guys using like a pre-listing package?
No, that's one of the things I need to start doing is putting that into it.
Man, I tell you, if you start using a pre-listing package, and you can get mine at jasonmorrisprelistingpackage.com. If you start using a pre-listing package, I guarantee you in your market, 99% of other agents have nothing at all to give them, right?
Pretty much.
Me and you are at the same company. Okay. Right. So I'm going to tell you something that I can't really tell other people. Well, right. We're live on Facebook and other people are going to hear this. But one of the things that people say, or have agents say, they go, well, are people worried that nobody knows who your company is, right?
Right.
Now you're a little different because EXP is enormous out in Texas. Now in South Carolina, in my market, when I joined EXP, there was one other agent in MLS, and that's it. So, but here's the thing, man. People don't care what company you're with anymore. People care. I think that the real estate relationship is 100% based on trust. I don't think it matters what company it is. What they're looking for is a person they can trust that has a plan to sell their house.
Right.
And this pre-listing package is that plan. Right?
Yeah.
Now we have a great pitch because we're a publicly traded technology company. So I would use that when you're talking to somebody and they say, what can you what's different about your company? Or if they ask that company question, immediately respond, practice it over and over again. Respond with your elevator pitch. Mm-hmm. And the best elevator pitch I have for you is EXP. EXP will actually, we're a publicly traded technology company. Our founders understood that people don't look at newspapers anymore to buy houses. They pick up their cell phone, they pick up their tablet, and they log on with their laptop. Our company provides agents and helps develop tools to make this process of looking for homes easier. And then just continue on with your script, right? And just practice that really quick, 30-second elevator thing so that it's natural when you say it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. That makes sense.
So, and that's going to overcome a lot. Just that confidence when you saying that's going to overcome a lot. Then you send the pre-listing package out. As soon as you send the pre-listing package, you send them a text that just says, hey, this is Silas. Wanted to make sure you got the pre-listing package I told you I would send. I mean, try to send it as soon as you hang up the phone with them, right?
Immediately.
So make sure they got it. Then the next morning, like if you set an appointment today, it's Thursday. The next morning, Friday morning, call them up and just say, hey, Mr. Seller, this is Silas here with EXP. Just wanted to give you a quick call. Make sure you got my pre-listing package and see if you have any questions about it. And they will more than likely, 9 out of 10 of them say, oh, yeah, we got it. We looked down through it. We don't have any questions right now. So fantastic. I'll see you later on today. Show up at the door. Introduce yourself. Hey, this is Silas. Hey, I'm Silas with EXP. Let me give you a couple of my business cards. So did you guys have any questions about the stuff I sent you yesterday? And they're going to say, oh, no, but they're going to confirm they looked through it, right? Mm-hmm. Say, oh, that's great. Well, you guys said that you wanted $150,000 for the house. I always confirm the price of the house.
Right.
And say, oh, man, well, that's fantastic. I make a little small talk, about, oh, the weather's nice today, or, oh, man, it's rained for the last 3 days. I make a little small talk, and then I say, well, who wants to show me the house? And I always get them to walk the house with me because I feel like it gives you some time to build a little rapport, and it builds trust. You know what I mean? And right. I've heard agents say that they don't like to do the house tour with the people. I like to do the house tour with the people because we can point out things that's going to be a problem. Oh, you got a stain in the ceiling, buyers are going to point that out. So I like to go through that process with them and tell them what I think is going to be an issue. And it's basically a consultation. Now, I never point out an issue without asking, where it's from, what we're going to do about it, and asking a suggestion. Dude, They know the problem. You know what I mean? They know their house smells like dog pee. You know what I mean?
Right.
They know that I went to this lady's house, man, and I was like the fourth agent, right? That had that listed their house. Now it had expired with 3 others, and I was kind of looking at it, and I was kind of going, man, it looks like it's priced right. The pictures look good. What's the deal? When I pulled up in the yard, she had a bull massive. That is one of those extremely large bulldogs.
Right.
This damn thing looked like a small horse. He was so big. And then to top it off, he had a basketball that was partially deflated, and the damn dog was carrying the basketball around in his mouth. Now, I'm not scared of dogs or anything, and usually they're friendly, but dude, I was not getting out of the car. You know what I mean?
Right.
I called her and I said, hey, this is Jason. I just want to make sure you're home. And I said, I don't think your dog likes me. And she steps outside and calls the dog. Turns out the dog was really friendly. But the whole time I'm walking through the house, this dog was bumping me in the back of the leg with this basketball wanting to play. And I was thinking, oh shit, if this dog gets upset, this dog could tear my leg off, literally.
Right.
And dude, and she had no idea this was the problem. She told me, she goes, well, people set appointments and then they never come in and look at it. It's like, no shit, you got this massive dog, people are scared to get out the car. I would never have gotten out of her car with clients. And, she didn't know that was going to be a problem. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And the agents that she'd worked with, I'm sure they didn't tell them. Nobody told her like, hey, this is going to be a problem, and what can we do about it? Maybe can you put the dog in a bedroom? Can you do something when people come? You know what I mean?
Right.
So you can't just say, hey, you got to get rid of your dog. You say, hey, you think when people come over here, a lot of people are kind of nervous about dogs or scared of dogs. Do you think we might could put them like in the extra bedroom? You got to offer a suggestion, or, hey, the carpet looks really bad. Or, sometimes I don't do anything to insult, but, the carpet looks kind of dirty. Do you think that would clean up if we got a carpet cleaner, or do you want to offer like a carpet allowance for that? You know what I mean?
Right.
Offer suggestions. My experience is, this is a great one for painting. Well, guys, this is one of these houses you go in, they got nail hole patches everywhere, and you go, guys, there's a lot of nail patches. Are you guys going to touch up the paint, or do you want to offer some sort of credit or something for painting? And just see what they say. If they say no, I don't push the fact, but I'll make note of it. And then if after we have 5-10 showings, or after we have a few showings and that same, if I get the same feedback, then I'm calling her saying, oh yeah, this is the feedback I got. I felt like that paint was going to be a problem. What you want to do about it?
Right.
We can do a credit. We can do a little price reduction. I like price reductions over credits, man. Credits, you don't see them unless you go to the agent remarks in our MLS. Price reductions, they show up on the hot sheet and everything and get re-syndicated out. I'd rather do a $500 price reduction than a $500 credit. That sounds kind of odd, but that reduction is going to get sent out, where the credit's just it's gonna be in the agent marks, and nobody's going to see it unless they pull the listing up. But But man, does that kind of help you out, or give you an idea of a direction to go with these new appointments?
Yeah, it's definitely something I need to do. The pre-listing packet is what I need to start sending out, and then it's definitely going to help out a lot.
Cool, man. Well, I tell you what, and the ones you already been on, man, I would go through. I'd build me a little follow-up system for them, like a written follow-up system as to what you're going to do the day after the appointment, what you're going to do on day 3, what you're going to do on day 5, and just follow it, whether it's a call, or whatever it may be, man. But anyway, man, hey, if somebody's looking to send a referral or something down your way, how can they get in touch with you?
You could give me a call. My number is 915-247-4417, or you could email me, silas.baca@exprealty.com. Those are my 2 best ways to get a hold of me.
Cool, man. Well, if I can help you with anything, just send me a message or something, and we'll set up a time to talk. And guys, if anybody is interested, I offer group coaching, and if I can help you guys, just send me a message. But I appreciate it, Silas. Thanks for being on the call with me today, man. Before we go, is there anything else I could help you with today?
No, that's it. You answered a bunch of my questions, and I appreciate your time as well. This early in the morning.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you doing it with me. You have a great day.
All right. Thank you, sir. You too.